You wake up and you're already tired. Not the kind of tired that sleep fixes. The kind that sits in your chest before you even open your eyes. You haven't done anything yet, but you feel like you've already run a marathon. Your life from the outside probably looks fine, maybe even good. You have things to do, people who care about you, responsibilities you're managing. But inside, you feel like you're operating on fumes. And the worst part? You have no idea why. You tell yourself it's normal. Everyone gets tired. Everyone feels drained sometimes. But this isn't sometimes. This is constant. And you can't shake the feeling that something is different about the way you experience energy. Like everyone else got a manual on how to recharge, and you're just guessing. If you've ever felt this way, I'm really glad you're here. This video might explain something you've been trying to put into words your whole life. And if this resonates with you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and leave a like. It helps more people find content like this, and honestly, it helps me keep making it. So let's talk about why you're always tired even when life looks fine. Because the answer isn't what most people think. It's not about laziness. It's not about poor time management or lack of discipline. It's about how your brain uses energy. And for a lot of people, especially adults with ADHD or other forms of neurodivergence, that system works completely differently than it does for most of the world. Here's the thing. Your brain runs on energy just like your body does. But it doesn't just pull that energy from food and sleep. It pulls it from something called executive function. That's the part of your brain that helps you plan, organize, focus, regulate emotions, and switch between tasks. It's like the manager of your mental workspace. And when that system is running smoothly, you don't even notice it. But when it's not, everything feels harder than it should. For people with ADHD or other neurodivergent wiring, that executive function system doesn't work the same way. It's not broken, it's just different. And one of the biggest differences is how it regulates energy and attention. Most people can look at a task, decide to do it, and their brain automatically supplies the focus and motivation needed to get started. It's almost automatic. But if your brain doesn't produce or regulate dopamine the same way, that automatic system doesn't kick in. You have to manually generate the energy to focus. Every single time. Imagine trying to start a car that has a weak battery. You turn the key and nothing happens. So you try again and again. You might get it started eventually, but it takes so much effort just to do what should be simple. That's what it feels like trying to focus when your brain isn't naturally supplying the neurochemical fuel to get you going. And after a while, all that effort to just get started wears you out before you even begin the actual task. Now add to that the fact that your brain is constantly scanning for something interesting, something stimulating, something that will give it the dopamine hit it's craving. So even when you're sitting still, even when you're supposedly resting, your mind is moving. It's jumping between thoughts, worrying about something you forgot, replaying a conversation from 3 days ago, planning something that might never happen, or just spinning in circles trying to land on something that feels right. You're never fully off. And that constant mental motion is exhausting. But here's where it gets tricky. Sometimes you do have energy. Sometimes you feel completely lit up, focused, and capable. You stay up until 3 in the morning working on something that grabbed your attention. You deep dive into a new hobby. You have these bursts where you feel unstoppable. And that makes the tiredness even more confusing. Because if you can do that sometimes, why can't you do it all the time? Why can't you just decide to have energy? The answer is that the energy you feel during those bursts isn't sustainable. It's not coming from a stable, regulated system. It's coming from urgency, novelty, interest, or sometimes panic. Your brain finally got the dopamine it needed, and now it's running on that. But that's not rest. That's not recharging. That's borrowing energy from tomorrow. And when the interest fades or the deadline passes, you crash. Hard. So you end up in this cycle. You push yourself during the moments when your brain cooperates. You get things done. You feel productive. But then you collapse. And the collapse lasts longer than the productivity did. You spend days trying to recover from a few hours of focus. And because no one sees that part, because all anyone sees is that you got the thing done, you start to believe that you're just not trying hard enough the rest of the time. You look around and see other people managing their lives without falling apart. They work, they clean, they socialize, they rest, and they wake up and do it again. And it looks easy for them. Meanwhile, you're rationing your energy like you're preparing for a famine. You have to choose between getting work done and having a conversation with a friend. Between cooking dinner and having the energy to shower. Between being present and being functional. And that's not dramatic. That's just real. The guilt that comes with this is crushing. You feel like you're failing at being a person, because tiredness is supposed to be something you fix with sleep, right? Or exercise, or eating better, or managing stress. And you've tried all of that. Maybe some of it helped a little, but it didn't fix the core problem. Because the core problem isn't your habits. It's the way your brain is wired to regulate attention and energy. Let's talk about what's actually happening. Your brain needs dopamine to function. Dopamine isn't just a reward chemical. It's a motivational chemical. It's what helps you anticipate that something is worth doing. It's what gives you the mental fuel to initiate action. And if your brain doesn't produce enough of it, or if it doesn't use it efficiently, then every single task feels like pushing a boulder uphill. Even the small ones. Even the ones you want to do. So your brain starts looking for shortcuts. It looks for things that will spike dopamine quickly. Scrolling on your phone, snacking, buying something online, starting a new project, anything that gives a little hit of stimulation. And in the moment, it works. You feel a little less flat, a little less stuck. But those hits don't last, and they don't actually recharge you. They just distract you from how drained you really are. Meanwhile, the things that actually matter, the things that require sustained focus, don't offer that immediate dopamine payoff. So your brain resists them. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't care, but because your brain is literally struggling to generate the neurochemical interest needed to engage. And overriding that resistance takes enormous effort. The kind of effort that leaves you wiped out even if you didn't physically do much. And then there's the invisible labor, the constant task switching, the mental load of trying to remember everything because your working memory doesn't hold things the way it should, the emotional regulation required to not snap at people when you're overstimulated, the masking you do to seem like you have it together when you feel like you're drowning inside. All of that takes energy, and none of it is visible. So when people ask why you're so tired, you don't even know how to explain it. Because to them, you didn't do anything. But you did. You've been running a complex operation inside your head all day just to appear normal, just to meet the basic expectations of life. And that's exhausting in a way that most people will never understand unless they've lived it. Here's what I want you to know. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not making this up. Your tiredness is real, and it's not your fault. Your brain is working with a different operating system, and that system requires more energy to do things that other people's brains do automatically. That's not a flaw. That's just a fact. And once you understand that, once you stop blaming yourself for being tired, you can start working with your brain instead of against it. You can start noticing what actually recharges you versus what just distracts you. You can start protecting your energy instead of spending it trying to prove you're capable. You can start being honest about your limits instead of pretending they don't exist. This doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean lowering your standards or letting yourself off the hook. It means recognizing that you've been fighting an uphill battle without even realizing it. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop fighting and start adapting. You've probably spent years thinking something was wrong with you, that everyone else had it figured out and you were just behind. But the truth is, you've been working twice as hard to get half as far, and you've been doing it without support, without understanding, and often without even knowing why it was so hard. That ends now, because now you know. Your tiredness isn't a character flaw. It's a symptom of a brain that processes the world differently. And that brain, with all its challenges, also has strengths. Creativity, hyperfocus when the right conditions align, the ability to see connections others miss, deep empathy, a mind that never stops exploring. You've been surviving in a world that wasn't built for the way you think. And survival is exhausting. But understanding is the first step toward something better. Toward rest that actually restores you, toward energy that doesn't come with a crash, toward a life where you're not constantly running on empty. So if you're tired, if you've been tired for as long as you can remember, if you've been wondering what's wrong with you, let me tell you, nothing is wrong with you. You just have a brain that needs different things. And once you start giving it those things, once you start listening to what it actually needs instead of what you think it should need, everything starts to shift. You deserve to feel rested. You deserve to have energy. You deserve to stop carrying the weight of shame for something that was never your fault. And I hope this video helped you see that. Because you're not alone in this. And you're not imagining it. You're just finally starting to understand it.